While we're waiting for it, I just wanted to say, I'm Lisa Jess from the Youth Wellness Center at St. Joe's, and wanted to give a giant shout out to the Sisters of St. Joseph. That is so cool that I can stand here and say 2 thumbs up for the sisters, and for St. Joe's for standing up for such an important issue. And those are the handouts. Terrific, thank you. Thanks. I'm always overly organized. And you use the mouse as your clicker. Thank you. So, first of all, I'm here to explain to you why the Youth Wellness Center supports the city's new protocol, and hopefully will not repeat too much of what else has already been said. So, Youth Wellness Center, we are located downtown. Actually, you can kind of almost see us from here. We're in the Piggott building on James Street, and we see youth who have mental health and addictions struggles, youth aged 17 to 25. We opened approximately 2 years ago and have been around since then. So how many trans youth do we see at the Youth Wellness Center? About 700 youth are referred to us every year in the City of Hamilton. 3% of them identify as trans when they reach out to our services. And most of you will know that that's a higher number than you might anticipate in the population. So far this year, we've seen 850 youth at the Youth Wellness Center, and over 7% of the youth that we see who require intensive service are transgender youth. A little bit of data for you, which is why the slides were important. We've recently run some numbers on the first 2 years of our service, and we collect data when people first come into service about their psychological distress. And you can see from this chart that the group out of the 3 genders that we look at, so male, female, and then transgender people who identify that way, and that carries a whole bunch. It includes trans men, trans women, people who are non-binary, gender fluid, etc. They are distressed. All of the youth that come to our service are distressed, but the most are trans youth. And we've already had reference to Trans Pulse study a few times today because it's almost all we have here in Canada in terms of looking at the evidence around working with trans people. And you can see that this is what we'd expect, right? Trans youth are struggling. They're struggling with high rates of depression. They're struggling with high rates of suicide. The important point to remember about those things is that it's not inherent to being trans, right? It's because your family disowned you or kicked you out. It's because you don't have any support at school. It's because you're afraid to go into the washroom, as we've heard a lot about today. So we're out there trying to work with trans youth to support and improve their mental health and addictions concerns, but you as city councillors have a huge role to play as well. So we need your help. That's why I'm here. I see many trans youth every day, and they're wonderful, awesome, resilient youth who are struggling in some of the most basic ways. I'm trying not to get overly emotional at this point, but it's really incredibly hard because I see them come into our space and I hear the stories that they tell about things that you might think are relatively minor, but they're insults to who they are as people that happen to them on a daily basis. And by approving this policy, you will have made such a difference to them. You will have helped with their sense of hope that they can be included in the City of Hamilton. And you will have done me a favor as well, because you'll give me some hope as well that I've chosen the right place to live and work in. I think the other thing to think about when you're considering your vote on this protocol is you will be effectively reducing the number of suicides in Hamilton of trans youth. You'll be reducing the number of mental health issues that trans youth have to face because you will be embracing them and accepting them as part of our community. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Are there any questions for Lisa? Seeing none, thank you very much. And now